As our world spins seemingly out of control, we are all experiencing time speeding up, chaos shifting to a new level, and a yearning to know the greater mysteries of the universe. What does it all mean? Visionary spiritual teachers and best-selling authors Sri Ram Kaur and Kira Ra explore these mysteries, offer live soul readings, and invite you to open up your mind, body, and spirit to the paradigms that are shifting. Bringing you fresh perspectives and timeless wisdom, here are Sri and Kira.
Namaste, beloved community. Our eyes are open and we see you.
It is a June fiesta. Do you not love? Look at this. This was made for me by the local Kenyari. This is a hand-woven, real, we support the Women's Co-op, real hand-woven Panama hat, hand-painted for me with all these beautiful eyes. And I don't know if our camera's picking it up, but it's gold. And isn't it beautiful? And so in celebration of thanking all of you for your donations that are keeping these people alive and their connection, and June, the eyes are open, right? And so we just wanted to say welcome. What a huge show today. I mean, there is so much going on today, Shri.
Absolutely. Hey, we're coming right up on June. It's a fabulous energy. We're going to talk all about it in the next few minutes.
Yeah.
But before we get rolling, I just want to say welcome to all of our listeners at BBS Radio, at Oneness Talk Radio. And you can catch the live video at Oneness Talk Radio's homepage, and of course, at Official Shri and Kira YouTube, and Facebook. So we are making it easy to stay in touch. Join the community, say hi in the chat, and get ready because June is a dynamic month and this is a dynamic show. We have got some goodies in store.
I got fever. I'm like, whoa, it is so big what's coming. I mean, it's just crazy. Now, remember, we have all of our call boards wide open. They are filling fast. You can give us a call at 888-627-6008. That's 888-627-6008 over at bbsradio.com. And our producer, Dawn, will be over there with you. Pick up your calls. Also, make sure when you call in, if you call in over at the 800 number, let Dawn know if you have a specific question for Shri regarding Ascension symptomology or physical experiences you're having.
Helping with the body.
Exactly. As a medical intuitive, he offers that to you every week. Now, of course, we are also available at 517-208-1500. Again, 517-208-1500. That's the call board over at Oneness Talk Radio. And over there, if you have a question for Shri, I believe it's *5 to raise your hand. Is
yes,
that
that
it?
sounds right.
All
that
right.
sounds right.
You press *5 to raise your hand, and then that way we know. So again, over at BBS Radio, talk to our producer, 888-627-6008. Over here, 517-208-1500.
Hey, and I want to tell you, we're just about to get into the June energy, and before we do, we've got a little cooking segment coming up, a live video later in the show. You're going to love it.
We have so many surprises. You know, there's even more than that, right? We have, everybody's been asking us about how we eat. Well, Bria Rose, bless her heart, wait till you see, you got the recipe. You're going to want to write this down. You're going to want to revisit it. She gives you step-by-step instructions from the Tosa kitchen, plus a surprise video coming up in about 5 minutes. A lot happening.
Yeah, we've got a lot happening. But let's take a deep breath.
Let's do that.
Let's join together. Because your mastery is one breath away. Yeah. To center in our hearts. Breath into the heart. So. To center in your heart center is to open the portal to your divine essence, to your divine wisdom, and the ability to make empowered choice. It's so easy, and we forget to interrupt the nonsense.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So, guys, let's take a moment right now. Let's just, I love that you had our hands at our heart. The first thing that we want to share as we are here in June is that number one, and we're going to get to the calendar in just a second, the very first of 2 up levels. There are 2 up levels in June. They are related. The very first one is tomorrow, which means you're already in it. And I was sharing with some people today, and my poor beloved husband, he woke up and he was so sweet and so lovey. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, Shri, we got to go. like this
There's work
poor
to
man.
be done, lives to save.
Masters to say hello
Masters
to.
to awaken.
I kid you not. How has the energy been for you today? I mean, first of all, literally, I have been like feet on the street, full on with all of you, with all that's going on galactically since 6:30 a.m. our time, and ran out of linear time to even stop for a moment to be until we're here with you right now. So literally, we are decompressing with you in real time what has been happening since this morning. And it has led to amazing amounts of miracles and revelations.
Yeah.
And I want to share, a lot of you have already been writing us and saying, hey, Kira, I'm really nervous. You've been saying that June is this explosion energy, and that's got me really scared. Well, I'm glad to hear that, because if you're really feeling that, then that's actually a sign of anchorship wobble, which we're going to be talking about a little bit. Because think of it as, Sri and I were talking about this earlier. It's like the Venn diagram, right? So we have the two circles. Do you want to explain what a Venn diagram is, Sri? It's the two circles.
Yeah. I think most of you got this in high school somewhere.
Right.
One circle has one quality, the other circle has another quality, and then the Venn diagram is where they begin to overlap. Where do these two qualities intersect?
So that's that middle part, right? So if you were to draw, and I didn't have time to make the graphic, I'm sorry, I really wanted to. So if you draw a circle on your page, draw another circle on your page, you have the two circles, and then you have that little space in the middle. That little space in the middle is right now. It's this minute. It is June 2020, and we're in it. The energy actually began from I'm not going to go back and talk about the May calendar, but you guys know when it came in. And so what you have is, in that left side of the circle is January 2020, and go ahead and write that in there or hold that in your consciousness. And in the other side of that circle is January 2021. These two are coming together. And they've been coming together. We are in a moment of a timeline. Remember, we are still in the final month of visionary transformation through what? Timeline adaptation. And so as these two areas are starting to come together, this is the moment where it's the first real, wait a minute, this is really happening. Is that this is going to start hitting a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of, let's just say, instead of a gentle, my angel, wake up, you are an amazing being of light, welcome to a new level of consciousness, there's going to be a lot more of, wake up, you've got to be working now. And that's how I was woken up this morning. Literally this morning, I felt, I literally woke up with a collective, and that's what woke me up. And I felt this huge anxiety, like a moment of among the planet, like a moment where everybody was on an in-breath and what's going to happen next. And what it did for me was it jolted me into a joy-filled state of connection, creation, inspiration. And I'm sharing this with you because I want you to really check in right now. We are here in real time as linear experience on the very last day of May, and May was all about choice.
Yes. Choice means you're going to get to witness what you chose. and part of what's coming in this June energy.
It's very well said, actually, Sri.
Is life gives you feedback, does it not?
Oh, yes.
And as long as you, we cycle through awareness, experience, choice, well, guess what? You make a choice, and it's time now to heighten your awareness, and we start having the experience of that choice that was made. We don't have the experience if we're not aware.
Right.
It's a whole thing, because we're talking about the evolution of consciousness, not just the experience of having the sun on your flesh.
Right.
This is about being aware of that sun on your flesh. So June, the magic word for June is about explosion. Well, explosion means release of energy.
Yeah.
And Kira opened the show talking a little bit about, some people said, well, this feels a little ominous.
Right, I'm scared. I'm scared when you use that word.
Well, anytime we touch upon the unknown, or that which is new. Fear is a common reaction. And for those that are driving full steam ahead without looking forward, meaning they're only responding to the past, they may stumble into something that will be less than delightful. Yeah. And for those that have their eyes open, that are saying, Beloved Spirit, I am here, I am ready, I am open, guide me. When our spiritual eyes are open, we will only expand in what is good for all beings, what is good for our path, what is good for the service of the expansion of light. Have no fear. If the question is, are you choosing to stay awake, or are you choosing to feed your reactive ego? Because that will create a split in the path.
Well, and I think that's also what's calling this jolt energy, because we are at a moment, and Shri, as you were sharing, my heart was like, yes, this is the moment where it really is that rich opportunity to love, smile, and let go of all hope of a better past.
Ooh, say it again.
Let go of all hope of a better past and be here now. Imagine how free you are if there's nothing pulling on you, if the shoulda, coulda, woulda, whatever. Give up all hope of a better past, because every time you doubt yourself, you're hoping for a better past. You're doubting yourself because you're still basing your belief system and your actions upon that which you were, not who you are.
Yes.
You are. I am. And June, Shri, should we flash our background? This is the background we've been promising you. This is the full June, and we actually have it as a slide, so we're going to put it up without us being in the middle of it. But remember, this is all about the fifth dimension. Literally, welcome to the fifth dimension. And like it or not, that's why that Venn diagram right now, imagine two planets literally colliding. And what's happening is that these two planets, so here are these two planets, right? Here's January 2020, and here's January 2021. So imagine them as spheres of energy. Remember, that was the 2-year up-level experience. We're only 6 months into this period. So imagine that what's happened is that through the up-level success, through all the lineage holder amplification and the fact that more egos are releasing and the fact that more are waking up beyond the greed and the all the other things that are fascinating to witness, there's these two collision courses. And so what's happened in June is we're stuck. We're literally, you see how I'm rocking? You're literally in that, the teeter-totter Shri and I have been talking about. There's only one way that teeter-totter stays, and that's with that perfect balance. So June 2020 is the moment of connection. It is our first awareness month with a very rare triple retrograde energy. So should we jump to the calendar? You want to see? Let's put it on the calendar. I think let's put up the June calendar because you really want to pay attention to this. There it is. So here is the June 2020 up-level calendar. And it is really important. And let's just start that it's Zodkiel. And of course it's Zodkiel. And the reason I'm smiling is because the divine director, all of the ascended presence and this community, you, our amazing community, Monday Magic is going to be a permanent experience. We just feel so excited about it. And so our next series begins next Monday, and it is How to Live in the Fifth Dimension. It is a 12 series. It's going to happen once a week for 12 weeks to carry us through the summer. And it's predominantly by Archangel Zodkiel. So you got to love that on this calendar, choose to say yes to the absolute truth of who you are. And I want you to hear that today in this moment, May 31, as we are culminating a month of choice. Are you aware of the choice that has already been fairly anchored as it is ready now to show you the awareness? Because June is an apex moment. It is that first bridge between, we're at that pyramid, the top, right? However you want to see it. And it's that first brush with the overlay, because it's going to be June, July, August, and then in September is when we'll start seeing a new pattern emerge. And so in this June, July, August brush by, and I want to stay on the calendar right now, Shri, I want you to now pay attention to that this is the final month of the visionary transformation through timeline adaptation of this sector. Remember, there was a 4-month transit in the year. So pay attention to tomorrow, June 1. June 1 is an up level. And it is because of the pre-phase of the Mercury retrograde and its proximity to the full moon eclipse. So we're going right in. And later today, we're going to talk a lot more about that. But then I want you to go down to the weekend of the 19-20-21, because this is the triple retrograde energy. So on the 19th, we have the official beginning of the retrograde. On the 20th, the solstice is at 4:44 p.m. Ecuador or Central Daylight Time. And so we are inviting you to join us on the solstice between 4 and 5 Central Time. And together we will dance through the fire and anchor stability into this retrograde, which we're going to be talking a lot about. And then look at the 21st, what happens.
Yeah, that's a big
okay,
day.
It's huge. This is that triple energy. So on the 21st, it is an illuminated new moon eclipse, right? Which balances the full moon eclipse on the 5th. And it is the peak up level. It is a massive, there are very few peak up level dates in the year. This is one of them. And so let's go back a little bit and share that this explosion energy is already coming forward on the planet. And it is the overarching energy. Remember, this is a month of awareness. From the ascended consciousness, it's a month of awareness. And it is very much about not only the balance of the year, we're now the 6 months in and then the 6 months to go, but it's also very much about the ignition of your Merkaba. And so this is the moment to look at, am I igniting the self-ascended chakra portrait, which carries the energy of the Merkaba in the golden mean ratio? In other words, am I holding open my 5th dimensional portal? We are being given that opportunity. I mean, it's never been easier, right? So we are being given this opportunity in a month of 5th dimensional energy. So will you explode into that? Or will you explode into the Merkaba that has an equilateral energy to support another cycle through this experience? You're going to explode one way or another. Everything is already exploding. And I think we see that it's happening at every level. The key is, are you ready to explode, to explode as a shower of light? Imagine if you explode up as a shower of light and you are a fountain of radiance. Everywhere you go, everyone you talk to, imagine the beauty, the ripple that could carry around the planet. So that opportunity is here for you this month. And you can also explode into the anger, explode into the injustice, explode into the density, and that's okay too. It really is, because everything is exploding. And I really think, Shri, we should talk about, and especially from your perspective as a psychotherapist and such a brilliant evasive medical intuitive, that, we were talking about the stages of grief.
Yeah,
and
the planet is really... So let's just take a pause for a second.
Really, and
because
breathe.
This ties into the June energy. It also ties into having and maintaining a healthy perspective on global events.
Well, and also why it's never been a better time to give up all hope of a better past. And we're going to talk about the relaunch in just a minute. So let's follow through on this.
But consider for a moment that every being on this planet has been deeply affected by the COVID-19. And that I'm not here to recite the losses. I'm here to honor and respect that it has been an affront to our emotional bodies. It has challenged us at spiritual levels as well. And that, of course, there have been physical challenges, everything from limited movement to lack of food in many cases. So this is a truly a life-impactful thing.
It is.
And all of us must bring a little compassion to bear for ourselves and our fellow travelers on Spaceship Earth, that the cycles of grief are well-charted psycho-emotional territory, and they are indeed predictable and natural. And that when we talked about this some months ago, but it's important to recognize that mass consciousness as a whole moves at a much slower rate than you might move or heal as an individual. That mass consciousness is an equilibrium of lots of contributors. So the shock of what has come forward and the denial of what COVID really is, we've seen that already. And now what we're seeing acting out is the anger.
And so just breathe that in for a minute, because everything is exploding. So it's natural that the anger phase would come forward. And how wonderful that we've arrived. It's actually a state of evolution.
It's movement forward.
It is a movement forward. Go learn more about the stages of grief, or if you've been watching our shows, we've been talking about this for a while. We are in a new time. We came for this. You were born for this moment, or you wouldn't be here. The question is, how do you want to navigate it?
Yeah.
Because you will always have that choice.
And yes, and one of the choices you can make is to say, I choose to be the custodian of my emotional health. Mm-hmm. Now consider that for a second. Rather than just react, I choose to be the custodian of my emotional health. And that means I choose to forgive and release all who have participated in this painful experience.
Yeah.
This isn't about inhibiting making healthy choices. Forgiveness is a different energy. Forgiveness is giving up all hope that it should have been different.
Exactly.
Giving up all hope of a better past. Giving up the need to carry a judgment, to carry a hurt. Because if we can, in a healthy way, practice forgiveness, we'll move through the stages of grief rapidly. And we'll move to a wholesome, centered place where we can make healthy choices. So to forgive, it means, it's as simple as saying, hand on heart, I unconditionally forgive and release all the beings who have contributed to this crisis. I forgive them now. They're doing the best they know how, given their level of consciousness. And that's a true statement. Breathe, let it be true for you. And finish that up with one more. I forgive and release myself for participating in the fear and hurt of this global crisis. I forgive myself for my participation in this, and I release myself now.
Yes.
Let it go. And then we gather the wisdom of those prior experiences and everything you've read and everything you are, and that wisdom will help you make new choices. But this is how we stay in present time. The fifth dimensional energy is about compassion. And in order to get right up and hang out there, we need to forgive the past, or we'll hang out in judgment and hurt. And so this is self-hygiene from an emotional, spiritual level, and I encourage you to wash frequently.
Yeah.
Do the forgiveness practice daily for a while, and you'll feel lighter and more healthy.
And why not explode, right? I mean, really, imagine exploding with your divine nature. I can share with you, Shri can share with you, it feels amazing. Honestly, like I was sharing at the beginning of the show, the jolt awake this morning have not even stopped. And I'm still here with you in real time. And it brings me back to, as we were sharing, Shri, I want to go back to the calendar for a minute, because again, guys, want to remind you, we have a peak up-level experience, and it's part of this rare triple Mercury retrograde. We already know retrogrades inside of the up-level years are actually times of great harvest and great bounty if you are attuned into it. And that's why tomorrow is the first upgrade day. It's an up-level day. It's the Mercury retrograde pre-phase opening. It's the opening of the fifth dimensional transit. You see how on here there's that antique clock that's representing linear time. And then you see how there's a rising out of it, a beam of light, and then you see it going through the eighth and right there at the first, and the beams that went into last week. We are in the fifth dimensional experience now. We have lifted out, but you see it's at the end of the month, and it's right at that 21st peak up-level eclipse moment. You see how we're going to try and be pulled backwards. And that is why we're offering you this attunement today, because the seesaw needs to have, the teeter-totter needs to have all of those things, because I want you to look at the 19th. The Mercury retrograde will actually begin on the 19th. That's the relaunch. Remember, we mentioned earlier, this rare triple Mercury retrograde is about relaunch, return, remember. Well, on the 19th, that's going to be about the relaunch. We're going to talk about that in a minute. On the solstice itself is the return energy. Come dance in the fire with us at 4:44 p.m. Ecuador Central Time, live from our fountain of creation as we all return. You are being offered a moment of complete mastery, remembrance. And then imagine all of that. You have the relaunch, the return, and then on the 21st, it's about remember on this peak up-level experience. And so in the spirit of that, in the spirit of this triple Mercury retrograde, that, by the way, guys, in the energy fields that we are blessed to work with, we have never seen this before. We have never seen it come in this way before, ever. This is, and as we keep sharing, we are all in real time navigating this new energy. And so remember that as we are entering into that, right now, we're all in this triple energy. That's going to get peaked on that weekend, but that is really in this month of awareness. And remember, you're walking into this month at a different experience of consciousness based upon your May choice. So in a month of awareness, where the energy is relaunch, return, remember, everything is going to have its opportunity to explode. And so it's how you enter into the eye that has been opened, and that will fully ignite this week, right? It's going to ignite on Friday during that beautiful eclipse. So how are we coming forward right now? What are we doing? And so in Naked Authenticity, we have a way that we're going to do that. And this is one of the little surprises we mentioned at the beginning of the show we want to share with you, because it really is about our personal, thanks to all of you, your letters, your kindness. Shri and I know that the reason we came together was not for all the years we've already been out there. It was for this moment right now. We know that's why we're reverse aging. We know that's why our bodies are transforming and why things are shifting around us. Together, we have said, yes, we want to move forward. Yes, there is this energy awakening on the planet. And so we thank you for that. And kind of brings us up to our little surprise for you.
Well, we've got a fun little video to share with you. And
blush, blush.
As this video was filmed some years ago,
2007,
at various events that we were hosting, and you're going to see some faces in there that you might recognize. Some of you might see yourself in the video.
You might. And for those of you that have never seen Tosa Ranch, this video has some wonderful footage of Tosa Ranch, and this is what we're hoping to be building online, as well as for 7 years. Shri and I opened up our ranch once a month, and we had potlucks, and we would do all types of beautiful processes together. We were very blessed at Tosa Ranch to have a giant Merkaba and crystalline grid and pyramid
too.
teepees. So we've been recreating a lot of that here in Tosa Blue Mountain, but this is where it all began, and this was when things were getting pretty popular out there. So we're going to play this for you as part of our relaunch. And for those of you that know us, I think you'll enjoy the trip down memory lane. And for those of you that are just getting to know us, you may not have known all of this.
Here we go.
All right.
Let programs like Shri and Kara are doing keep love grounded, keep love focused, and keep the human spiritual potential empowered through these tumultuous and turbulent times.
My favorite quotes from Gandhi is that there are as many religions as there are people. All 6 billion paths are perfect.
You are the master. You get to choose. Are you making choices that bring you joy?
It holds a certain level of truth that I haven't always seen at different gatherings.
All the things that they're doing are making a difference.
And very heartfelt.
It just brought tears of joy, just an opening in my heart.
I'm Lisa Gar, host of The Aware Show, and I'm happy to be with this mystical couple of our time, Sri Ramka and Kira Ra.
People look at us and say, wow, you couldn't have met on the internet.
And yet we did.
True union requires transparency. That means no more denial, no more playing games with yourself. The ego knows that in the face of true love, it takes second chair. It's not going to be top dog anymore.
Know that sacred union begins with yourself, and when you go inside and finally love yourself enough, it's just a matter of moments of finding the love that you.
I feel elated when I am in their presence.
I just feel wonderful.
I'm experiencing a lot of overwhelming joy.
I feel very peaceful and I feel very connected.
Be the bringer of good in the face of what may feel like fire. Walk the talk even in the darkness and know with me there's something new.
The fundamental piece of our teaching is for you to learn how to trust yourself without doubt. It's about a knowingness of one divine energy.
Basically, Kira collapsed, and this other being, who I wasn't sure who it was at the first time, came in and began communicating with me.
When Zadkiel first came in, I immediately said, how do I know this is true? Zadkiel said, you must go into your heart, and from there you will know, is this expansion, is this love, is this of the Most High?
They are so wonderful, magical. They're on such a high vibration.
This is very new to me.
They're always amazing.
Very uplifting, very meaningful.
It's really astounding for people.
This is something that could benefit not only the individual that goes to these teachings, but the world itself.
From the moment you wake up in the morning, it's about, thank you, I'm here. And so the foundation of our teaching is to make available in many different forms, simple, tangible, really easy to use practices that you can do whether you have a 9-to-5 job. It doesn't matter. It's not just the esoteric. It's about bringing it into this world right now. Every one of you is a spark of the divine.
Individually, we are the light that illuminates the civilization.
If you follow the joy of the divine within, your presence will ignite others to follow theirs.
You will always carry your oppressor with you if you are free from. You are free to. Let us be free to love. Let us love freely. Let us love.
There's a deep connection between the past and present and me and you.
Hi.
Hey,
I'm kind of embarrassed. But that was 2007. This is now. So, it was once again, it was a surprise for us to find that as well. And I really felt like the divine directors were saying, hey, there's a lot of people that didn't know or don't know who you are, and maybe they should know. And it's part of that relaunch. And so thank you for inviting us to relaunch with you. That's a gift. It really is. And I hope that you enjoyed that very much. We sure enjoyed finding it again. And a lot of our friends were in it too.
Yeah, it was truly a wonderful moment to not only relaunch, but to remember. The truth that has been guiding us is the very same truth that is available to guide you. And that is the essence of your authentic nature.
Yes!
Which is beyond the veil, beyond the conforming energy of density. We dance with density, but we live with spirit. And as long as you get your priorities straight there, it's great fun. Life is a joyful experience. It's not a stress. It's an opportunity to expand light, to have fun, to be creative, and to know that you make a difference.
Yes, very much so.
The new earth is right here, touching my heart, and right now, touching my head. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, you know, Shri, I wanted to go to, where is it? Where did we put it? Hold on, guys. I want to show them the June energy, just the plain, this background.
Oh, I don't know if that got in there. I think I only put it in the background.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then, you know what? Let's go to, well, then we're just going to stay right here for a minute, guys. And Shri and I are going to go away like this.
Okay. Take a look at the
we're going to move.
background
Okay.
scene.
So sorry about that. So you can't get the full effect of this way. However, if you're on our email list, I had it in there as well, and I'll put it out more. But you see the triangle, the pyramid here. Okay. This is what's happening right now. This full energy, I always feel like a weather person. The full cosmic energy will be floating in overnight. And so this wonderful, where Shri is sitting, right? That eye is lining up like the two Venn diagrams. You see this? So this is that fifth dimensional circle right here. Now, if you go over here, that right now is what has just opened up through the trinity of these full supermoons. This is what's happening literally as we speak, and will come into its full presence Friday, when this fifth dimension will feel like it's sliding in front of it. So you're looking at it kind of coming in from the back versus looking at it coming in from the fifth dimension. What I'm saying is, if you're lifting up through that void to come out and see the fifth dimension as something that's above you, then you're looking at it from the third dimension. Or over here where I'm sitting, are you in your cosmic creation? Remember this right here? What was this? This was all of May. This is that beautiful energy that was sent right out into the universe, right? Did you have your message in a bottle? And so that went out there. And so that energy is literally offering you the opportunity to gaze right in at what's ahead, to see it, to be part of the co-creator with it. And along with that time compression, I just want to remind you that, remember, we're in that Venn diagram. What was alive in you January 1 this year? Do you remember? What were you experiencing? What were you feeling? Where were you? Who were you with? The Ascended Heart came forward to offer itself this year as a foundation. And that's another reason why our Monday Magic is going to be teaching Living in the Fifth Dimension, because it begins with the Ascended Heart as the foundation. So join us Monday nights.
Want to learn more about Monday
Yeah.
Magic and Living in the Fifth Dimension, just run to ShriandKira.com. Right on the homepage, there's a couple places where you can click and learn and enroll yourself in an adventure of expansion.
Yeah.
Because every Monday we're going to be diving into not only the ensouled teaching, but we're going to be diving into the recognitions we've gathered over these last many years and sharing them with you to inspire your own recognitions.
Yeah.
Monday Magic will go on every Monday.
Except tomorrow, we're taking 1 week off because there's so much coming in. We have to get ready for next Monday.
But please join us. This is a donation event. You can get in for nothing if your heart says, I don't want to share. And if your heart says, I want to share, you just click whatever amount, because we welcome you regardless of that.
Yeah,
Join
just,
us.
offer the donation of your time to be there and be in the fifth dimension. We enjoy having you all there. And this is, again, about that January 1. So January 1 this year, go back to, where were you? Now, look at your energy between January 1 and June 1. Then you're going to want to look at that energy from June 1 to January 1, 2021, you're going to notice that it's going to be its own new cycle, but they're overlapping. And they're overlapping in a month of awareness, where the energy is about explosion, where this triple retrograde is gifting you right now. It's beginning right now with the energy to relaunch, return, remember. And that is the law of instantaneous manifestation in action. June is go time. It's go time. And whether or not you think you're ready, it's go time. But the good news is there's enough of us that are ready that for you, those of you that aren't sure, here's our hand. Come on.
Yep.
Come on. Let's have some fun, because it is a glorious moment if we allow it to be.
And one of the things I invite you to do as you reflect back to January 1 of this year is also tune in to those dreams, those visions, and that sense of, oh, this is going to be grand. This is where I'm headed. And then use June to rekindle what was healthy for you, what was given to you as an honest, pure, authentic vision. Because just because some months have gone by, just because there has been a moment where perhaps things weren't expressing in the way that you had hoped, does not mean your vision will not bear fruition.
Yeah.
It means there was a cloud in the sky. And now, energetically, there is an explosion energy of relaunching and returning and remembering.
Yay!
Let's use that energy together.
Why not, right? Because together we are so much better. And, you know, speaking of that, we posted an article over at Shri and Kira today. This was the article that was over at thelineageholders.com. We did have it on Shri and Kira, but wasn't as easy to find. However, this is the 6-step spiral energy. How to navigate what is going to be thrown at you from density. And we've made it really easy to access. If you have connected with this article in the past, connect with it again. If you're not sure what we're talking about, connect with it. Go to shriandkira.com. Right on the homepage, you cannot miss it. Read the article. Practice this, because June, everything has got a lot of rich energy, and it's really gotten very, very big. So, Shri, I know we have a lot of people waiting to talk to us. Should we say hello to a few people?
Well, you think we have some first-time callers over at the 800.
Okay, let's welcome some people in. And then, do we have questions for you? We should start with any Shri questions, too.
Well,
so let's see what we have over here.
But,
okay. Wherever you want to go, we're going to bring in some. And then I do want to remind all of you that after we chat with a few of our callers here, we have another amazing video to show you. Because in the whole second half of the show, we're going to be talking about what this very powerful open eye means, so much so that I have to wear my awesome hat, which I just adore. I really love it. I'm too in love with this hat.
Many of you have sent in some wonderful photos.
And so we have compiled all of your photos, and what we're going to do is offer you a taste of all of the community eye-opening experience, including it'll start off with Bria Rose's amazing Tosa kitchen recipe that you're gonna want for our amazing, yummy, vegan, gluten-free, sugar-free, grain-free plantain waffles that we eat way too many of. They are really good. And Shri also modifies the recipe to be a crepe. And so before we move into that and our second half of the show, we also have some other surprises for you. Let's welcome in some beautiful people.
Well, yeah, I want to run over to the BBS 800 line.
Okay.
And we've got some first-timers that are standing by. So we're going to start at line 1 and say hi to Cindy from San Francisco.
Namaste, Cindy. Welcome.
Oh, namaste. I'm so pleased to connect with you.
Thank you. How may we serve you?
I am feeling so kind of mired down with my own energy, like practices I know, all of my heart knows that these are so good for me. And it's like exercise. I don't bring myself to do it. So this kind of self-sabotage thing I want to ask you about.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for asking. You know, as you were sharing, within your deep, I mean, this is deep within your heart center, I almost feel like a vice grip. like there's this really strong rubber band around the back of your heart, and it's taking my breath away even. And so when that much breath is taken away, it's hard for our truth to fully express. And I will share with you that as you were sharing, all I kept hearing was Archangel Michael, who was standing behind you. And he's got his hand up with his sword, but his other arm is like wrapped around you. And he's whispering into you and saying, I have you. All you need do is want it more. And what he's saying is that because he has you, you've gotten comfortable. And so you don't want it enough yet. And he's saying, look, I have you. And so right now he's got you and you're having a wonderful journey. But what's waiting for you, if you say, I want it more, is that when he removes that arm, you stand next to him with the same power. And so breathe that in. And I would also encourage you to breathe in more, I love myself even more. And just start there. And start sometimes with the act of forgiveness and maybe crying out the tears that say, I love me so much and I am so glad I now know, and then move forward. I love you, Cindy. Thank you for calling in, honey.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much. I love you too.
Thank you, beautiful one. Namaste.
Namaste.
And aren't you feeling that among our community?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of heart pull right now, right, guys, on a lot of different level.
Well, and she reminds us that you really need to keep your eye on the divine.
Yeah.
And you've got to want the expansion. To say, I wish it would happen is different to say that I am taking action. I want this to be my everyday experience, this expanded state, this joy. Because the egoic habit you don't even know it's the ego, it's just the habit of the inertia. The inertia, the predictable way of being. That's there. Take it for granted. It's there.
Yeah.
So now the next step is, what do you want to be there? We don't do battle with the ego. We just simply bring our attention to that which is of a higher vibrational truth, what we are wanting to claim. And so the more we bring our attention to the juice and not the problem, the more the juice is going to be tasty. It's going to be right there.
Well, what I love is how much more energy.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of you have been writing and saying, asking and going, how are you guys sustaining yourselves? How do you have all this energy? I had one person accuse me of having plastic surgery. I have not had plastic surgery.
No, there's no knives.
There are, and we have witnesses. All right. I mean, Bria lives here, right? I mean, we have lots of people. I mean, I have not, as a matter of fact, I have not left Tosa Blue Mountain in 80 days. Closing in on 88 days, I have not left Tosa Blue Mountain, and it has been, oh my gosh, extraordinary, really extraordinary. And so, Shri, as we're moving forward right now, I want to just remind everyone that as I was listening to our first caller and feeling into everyone, we're going to grab some more callers in a moment here, in this June energy, in this triple retrograde, and we're going to talk a lot more about that next week. As you are moving this week into this beautiful eclipse, remember, we went from a super full moon to a full moon lunar eclipse that is doing what? Opening this eye fully. As you walk through this week, in your first week of awareness, in the explosion energy of relaunch, return, remember, are you aware of what is already relaunching? Are you aware of what is returning? And are you aware of what you are remembering? Because it is an awareness month. And this can happen on lots of levels. For some people, they're going to get pulled back in. If you're behind the eye looking up, you might relaunch, return, and remember some really crummy times in your life. You might relaunch.
That could be depressing.
You might relaunch some really nasty tapes. That's what's going to happen in density. And the key is, if you notice it, then you are not in it, then you can move through it.
And I gave you a recommended languaging of a forgiveness practice.
Exactly. That's why
powerful.
I want to underscore this again.
And if you find yourself caught in a little of that Velcro, a little of that reactivity, you take a breath and bring your hand to your heart. and you state the declarations of release, and we release it all to the container. Go to SriandKira.com. You'll find the container practice lined up, and this is how to clear your field. Because remember, these emotionally driven experiences are not happening now. They are an illusion from the past. They are a hangover energy, and it's time to clear it so that you have your vitality for right here and now. Want to experience joy? You need all your energy in present time.
Yes, you do. Time to give up all hope of a better past. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Have a fire with it.
Throw it in the fire.
Let it go, and then join us and go through the fire dance with us on the solstice right here.
We got some
Tosa
fun
Blue
lined
Mountain.
up for that.
Just it's another donation event. Just get there. Go to SriandKira.com and register. It's going to be amazing. I'm very excited. 444 in the year of perfect balance. I mean, what could have been more perfect than that, right, guys? You can't make that up. All right, who's next?
Well, I want to respect, we've got another first timer that's standing by over at
BBS.
Yeah, it looks like our death from Michigan on line 2. Let's say hello.
Hi, namaste, beloved one. Welcome. We don't hear you. Are we? Hello? Oh, honey, I don't think we're going to be able to hear you. I'm so sorry. All right, Shri.
Well, we'll let go of line 2. Let's run to line 4 and say hi to Amy from Denver.
Namaste, Amy from Denver.
Hello. Like you this morning, I'm feeling the anxiety. I'm an ultra sensitive, and so the dates that you mentioned, like the 19th and 20th, I got brought out with my gift when my brother died on June 19th. Back in 2005. It happened to be Father's Day that year. So I got whooshed into my spiritual connection. And so with being an ultra sensitive, I've been feeling the sense of possible senseless death from all this energy and all the anger. And of course, it's playing worldwide. And so I was crying this morning because I was sensing the senseless death that will be coming due to people not understanding what's going on with the levels that we're going to be obtaining. Now, I'm not looking forward to the 19th because of the relaunching. And of course, today is also Pentecostal Sunday. So for Christians, it's when the Holy Spirit brings down and gives people the gifts of the Holy Spirit. And
I'm glad you're here today.
To me, it's like a double whammy.
Oh, honey, it's a double.
I'm not liking this.
No. Okay, stop.
Take a breath.
Stop. Take a breath. Sit down. Here, come sit by the couch with me. Come, sit next to me. And so we're sitting on the couch together, honey. Oh my God, I feel like I'm talking to like one of my dearest friends. Angel. Just breathe. And I want you to just in this moment lift up with me, because you can so easily do that. And come join me up here in the 5th. Come right here with me. And I want you to feel how loving, how much compassion you are capable of, and you are embodying, and you are calling forward right now. And I'm sitting here just laughing with you, and you're like, oh my God, I get it. From up here, this is a day of celebration. Pop the champagne corks. You are being inspired directly. All the doors are opening. Even being here right now, you and me on the couch together, thank you. Do you know how many of our community members are here sitting in this room with us right now? You had to come in today in this way for us to come together and all go, oh my God, thank you. I remember this gathering. Honey, stay up here. You know how to do this. And this morning when I woke up and I literally was choked, right? It was the immediate call to say, step up. It wasn't even my poor husband. I couldn't even engage. I couldn't even make breakfast. It was like, just step up and go. And so you're here right now because you are in step up and go. And the aspect of you that doesn't like this is the remainder of that, which is afraid to let go and see even more. Those two are coming to resolution. And so it is a profound moment for you. And I thank you for sharing it so beautifully with all of us today. We love you dearly.
Thank you, dear.
Yes, and what I want to do is really break out my wings and just start going at it.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. I mean, listen, honey, that's exactly what they're saying. And so thank you. We are so grateful. You are doing it. You literally smile, dance, and say yes to you. It is that easy. It really is. I love you, honey. Thank you. Namaste. All right, Shri. Should we go over to the other board?
Yeah, we're going to do that now.
All right, and then, hey, guys, hang in there because after this caller, we're going to play an amazing video. You want to have your pen and paper ready. Bria Rose debuting from the Tosa kitchen. And all of your eye photos to kick off our community hour about having that very wide open eye. There we are. All right.
Hey,
so who are we saying hi to now, Shri?
We have a caller from New Jersey who
has a hand raised.
Has a hand raised to ask some medical intuitive question, I believe. Let's find out.
All right.
And we'll welcome you to the call.
All right. Hi. We're in Mercerville, New Jersey. Namaste.
Thank you, Shri and Kira. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome, sweetheart. Welcome.
Oh, I'm honored to hear all this wonderful information you're going through, and we're all going through. It's just profound, even watching the world and the journeys that they're going through, which is perfect to release the energy that has to be released in its own way. Yeah. So I'm sending prayers and light to all of that too. But the question is, my body is always dealing with the energy coming in, feeling very unbalanced, and each day is unique in its own way. Is there a special message for me that you can give me?
Well, I'm going to let Shri respond first, and then, yes, I immediately got.
Yeah, and if I may have your permission, I want to just look a little deeper than your public presentation and your energy field. Is that okay?
Sure.
All right, give me a second, please. All right. Well, the first thing that comes forward for me is around your throat, your fifth chakra. And I want to remind you and all those that are tuned in with you as the surrogate, energy for this moment is the fifth chakra, the throat chakra, is about living your full truth, not living a compromise of the truth. And now what this means is that it's time to accept who you are and be willing to be seen as who you are. Anything short of that restricts our respiration, our ability to inhale life, our ability to inhale air, and that's going to create in the body levels upper respiratory type symptoms. Anything from sore throat to a little congestion. It even goes up into the nasal cavities. The fifth chakra inhibitions can be there. Now the good news is the moment you bring your hand to your throat, maybe have a hand on your heart and a hand on your throat, and you just connect your heart, your self-love to the love of your truth, you can say, I now release my outdated beliefs. I now release the habits of being fearful. I release the habit of allowing myself to be small. And I'm simply going to calmly, with great love and acceptance, accept what I know is true and live from that standpoint. And so that's the first message I was guided to offer to you. And there's just one more little caveat with that, and that has to do with your seventh chakra. You have a lovely divine connection. Listen more. The guidance is there for you, and it's just a matter of relaxing and saying, I choose to be informed, beloved spirit, guide me. And then when you receive something that you go, wait a minute, all my habits aren't sure they like that, you got to laugh at it and say, who am I going to trust, the past or the future? Am I going to trust my spirit or the old habits? And so that seventh chakra will inform you, and that'll help your fifth chakra, meaning your authenticity, to come online more fully.
Well, Shri, I'm loving what you shared, because this is what he's sharing is exactly what they were showing, which is the Avesa breath is your key to freedom. And it's all about when you go in with the Ave, right? So the Avesa breath, we go in through the nose with the energy of the Ave. You want to consciously pull it up to your crown. Pull the Ave up to the crown, feel the breath come down to the throat, and a slow, controlled sigh with a smile. And they're saying if you do 3 of those, in sequence, each time your body starts acting out, rather than default into the habit of the pain which you are in and are comfortable with, if you have a moment where it's really calling your attention, they're saying hand to heart, just what Sri was sharing, hand to heart, hand to throat, 3 deep Ave Sa breaths, lift and ask your body. Your body is merely saying, what I'm hearing is, why don't you love me and why won't you listen to me? And so I'm really just ecstatic that you called in today, because I know a lot of beings are in this moment right now, and it's because of the massive shift in vibration. Your connection is moving faster than your body feels it can handle, and it's just a moment of attention. It's like a mother saying, oh, honey, I'm sorry I was at work late. Now let me be here for you.
You can do this.
You can. You are doing it. Absolutely. Thank you, my angel.
Much love, dear.
Thank you. Thank you.
Namaste. Namaste. Well, you know, Sri, I'm so excited because, again, guys, you know, all of our callers are always surrogates for another. And as we are moving forward right now, in the second half of our show today, we are going to be closing today with a very important, I'm going to use the word anchoring attunement energy for the up-level energy that's going to happen tomorrow. That's going to carry you right into that eclipse on Friday and start spinning us throughout the whole month. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. And in this moment, we are excited that you, all of our beautiful community, responded so well to all of the eyes. And in the second half of the show, we're going to be talking about noticing what you're noticing. We're going to talk more about what's coming in June, more about the energies that are ahead in this very rare triple retrograde. And for this moment, we're going to invite you to kick back and enjoy yourself and learn how to make some great plantain waffles and relax into the energy of your amazing eye photos.
So here's a fun video. Let's go with it.
Hey everybody, I am Bria Rose and welcome to the Tosa Blue Mountain Kitchen. And when you come here, this is where all the meals are prepped and cooked and loved. And today we're going to be making plantain waffles that are gluten-free, sugar-free, grain-free, and super delicious. And you can make them, you know, for breakfast, or you can have them as a bread substitute, which is usually what we do. You can eat them with hummus, with veggies, you name it. They're really good.
All you're going to need for these truly amazing waffles is almond milk, a green plantain, garbanzo flour, plantain flour, cinnamon, yucca starch, salt, vanilla, and baking soda.
So first we're going to take a plantain. This is a green plantain, and they're a little tricky to get the peel off. So here's a trick that a local taught me. You cut the ends off, like so, and then you just want to peel a strip, just a strip from the plantain, like that. And then for the rest, you just use your hands to peel. But if you use a knife to do the whole thing, it wastes a lot of plantain and it's also challenging. Just like this. Little by little, or as we say down here, poco a poco.
And as you can see here, I've just cut the green plantain into chunks and placed inside of the Vitamix.
And now I'm going to add the almond milk and water, 1.5 cups, to the blender. And we're going to blend it up. So now that we've blended our green plantain and liquids, it'll be easier to add all the flours and dry ingredients and then blend it all together. So first I'm going to add the garbanzo flour and then the plantain flour. All right, so now we're ready to pour our batter that we've just blended into this Cuisinart cup. It comes with the Cuisinart because it's the perfect size for making a waffle. And this is the consistency we're looking for. Runny, but also thick. It's hard to explain, but hopefully you can see. It's like pancake batter. That's what you want. And there we have it, everybody. Our gluten-free, grain-free, sugar-free waffle, plantain waffle. And it's not the perfect shape, this one anyway, but that doesn't matter when it tastes super, super delicious.
Namaste, beloved ones, and welcome back.
We love you, and what a fun sharing. We just celebrate all these fabulous photos that you've sent in, and thank you, Bria Rose, for your effervescent sharing of what is a favorite recipe here.
I love this, and I was thinking, you can have fun with that recipe. You can throw in your coconut, you can make it sweet with a little stevia and cinnamon. You can do lots of other things with it. So, hey, if you wind up making them, send us your pictures this week. We'd love to feature them. And if you enjoyed Bria Rose, let us know, because we think it might be kind of fun each week to have a segment and learn a little bit more about our cuisine that we serve down here when you have the blessing, and we have the blessing of sharing time with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tosa Blue Mountain is a fabulous place to not only to restore your spirit, but to restore your health.
Yeah.
The energy here is the Garden of Eden, and the consciousness and everything that is prepared is done with great love and mindfulness.
Yeah. So we're just so honored to be the custodians of this sacred land, and look forward to the day we welcome you to it in person. And we're grateful that we get to welcome you to it each week here on our Sunday service. We are delighted, sincerely. sincerely. Well, Shri, you know, I want to continue talking a little bit more. We have some slides, and then we want to jump in, and hopefully we'll be able to see the chat, and we'll hopefully be able to engage that as well. But we had some other, where are we? Okay, let's talk about right now the year. Let's put that one right back. Do we have the overview of the year, honey? Did we lose that one? There's June, but where's the one for the year?
I thought it was there from last week.
Okay. All right. So forgive us, guys.
Well,
we're still getting our new computer. Not our new computer. Our computer did get fixed, but we're still
it got
getting
formatted.
everything transferred over. So what I wanted to remind us was that in the overview of the year, remember, this was that year of the dragonfly, the year of perfect balance. And the way that this year laid out was not linear. It was the first time in all the years that the Ascended Ones have invited us to put out these energy calendars for the years. First time, remember last year's was more like an up arrow, but it was still linear. This one was very much about the consciousness ascension and about the trap of the linear ascension. There is a lot of linear ascension energy happening. And there in the middle of that, when you would look at the graphic, there was the dragonfly pulling that up into what looked like the energy of a pyramid. Well, that pyramid opened and is behind Shri right now through these full 3 super moons, and that was shown in the graphic. But the anchor point is the open eye, and that's what's happening right now. This brings us again to where were you January 1, 2020, and then look at where you are now. This is a culminating moment as it is a relaunching moment with an overlap. So this is a month to birth your dreams. This is Shri and I are relaunching, you know, where I never thought we would step foot on what I call the carnival circuit again. And we are doing one event because the producer's a friend of ours and because it's New York and it feels like we're supposed to be there. And especially now that it's Halloween weekend. Yeah. So if you want to join us, we're going to be at the Hotel New Yorker, same hotel where Tesla lived. We're very excited about that.
That's coming up October 30th.
Yeah.
So, beloved ones, this is a dynamic time and a time that really calls forward our hearts and our ascended vision, our ascended choices. So let's keep going.
Right.
You know, the one thing about the path of self-ascension is we constantly are saying yes. I was thinking earlier today about how this yoga of self-ascension differs from many other spiritual orientations. And the one thing I want to share with you or remind you is that in the yoga of self-ascension, it is as unique as you are. Yeah. This is a way of honoring who you are without you needing to conform to any dogma. It's a way of coming to a loving acceptance, coming to peace with all that's gone before in your life. And there is no dogma. There is only an invitation to restore your heart, restore your ascended consciousness, and say yes to your ascension process without having to transcend and transition. You know, you can do it while you're alive.
Well, that's the whole purpose of the yoga of self-ascension. And, you know, the yoga of self-ascension is really the gift that we give ourselves. However, you know, as I was reflecting back on some of our earlier callers as well, and something that we've been sharing for quite a few months now with a lot of ensoulments around it, you've got to want it.
You gotta want it.
And you know, and you have to really want it. You know, Shri and I, this is why we've really been returning to the naked authenticity and sharing more of our personal journey, because we're in full recognition that our lives have played out on your screen for 18. Those of you that have known us, that was Linda from Clinica Linda in that 2007 video. And Linda, imagine my smile when I saw you there. Oh my God. So I had to throw in that that's who you were. And so that little Linda from Clinica Linda was something I put on today. That's not in the original video. But the reason I'm sharing it is that what are you relaunching and how are you relaunching it? And what Shri and I are sincerely committed to and have never stopped with every breath being committed to was 100% authenticity in the yoga of self-ascension. Of this is what it looks like, but at the end of the day, it does take you there.
Yeah.
And it is a beautiful gift. And the key at the bottom of it, or at the top of it, maybe as the foundation is the bottom, or however you want to see the top, it's that steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust, and always gazing at it this way.
Yeah.
And seeing the bigger picture.
One of the things I enjoyed witnessing, and I just share it with you, and this video that is 13, 14 years old, is our message is consistent.
Yeah.
We have not modified who we are or what we do in order to appeal to an audience. We have simply said, here it is.
Yeah.
And what has shifted from 2003 when we began to 2020 right now, the only thing that has shifted is the depth of our love, and and our vibrational level has lifted. And that I trust that you as our community,
as our witnesses,
can
our witness.
Testify, can see that our commitment to this path has allowed us to become ever more visible and available to help you find your path and your commitment, because the vibrational resonance
hand to hand
of this upliftment is an ever refining frequency. And what is so delightful to me, what I recognize in the Yoga of Self-Ascension, is it is ever new. It is ever expanding. It is ever lifting. Peace, love, and joy are not, it's got this much of it. It's not just this much of it.
No, I want the kahuna, right? Yeah, come on.
And so we offer...
You can have it all. You really can.
I offer the recognition as a reminder to you that the joy is yours to claim, and the service is the joy. And we are so delighted to be here with you today.
Because we know that at the end of the day, we each have to get out of our own way, right?
Yes.
And then we get to show up at this party laughing. It's like the gateway, the admission to the party is laughing at that which tried to stop you from getting here. You know, it's that moment of the eternal smile, the one that pulses and is in the ever creative moment. Imagine all of your energy field, and this is absolutely happening with this explosion energy right now. Imagine if 100% of your energy field was 100% focused on your expansiveness, on the truth of who you are. And I am going to go back to the June calendar, because I know I've got that here, and share again that quote from Archangel Zadkiel right up at the top. Choose to say yes. Just hear that. Choose to say yes. You're in a month of choice right now. It's culminating as we speak. Choose to say yes to the absolute truth. The absolute truth of who you are. In this culminating month of visionary transformation through timeline adaptation, we will return to this energy, but not until later in the fall. And this month carries with it one of the only peak up-level moments of the year. This is profound. This isn't just a double up-level month. It's a month where one of the up-levels is a peak up-level, and that is the 21st, and that is the Remember Day. So imagine on that day the blessing of all of us being together. And this is why that energy, think just that weekend, Shri and I are going to be doing lots of special events. We will be with you Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And so this is going to be all about doing this together. And so as we come forward with these energies, where are you going to be Saturday, June solstice? To be with us, that is an event you must register for. Go to our website, 4:44 our time. How perfect
That's the
is
magic
that?
moment. We'll start a little
Yeah,
earlier
we're going to
than
start
that.
at 4. We're going to be going from 4 to 5 because we're going to culminate.
And we're setting up live cameras in the
Water Therapy Center
and the beautiful Nitaraj fountain.
Our fountain of creation.
So it's going to be fun. We're going to have fun producing it. There's going to be community here to gather with you.
Yeah.
Don't miss out. This is a great opportunity for you to say, I will lend my energy to a harmonic wave of restoration perfection and beauty to this planet and to all beings.
And I want to give a bow to the lineage holders, because this is being made possible by the lineage holders. All of the lineage holders have come together to support this event, and we will all be there together. And so whether you were part of the lineage holder series or not, just be there. Together we are better. And this is going to be a rock and roll one, guys. And so we're going to dance to the fire in our fountain of creation, from the harmonic balance, from the literal equator, sending out to you the waves of balance, so that you may become the one who your hands are open and the greater grid emerges, and that we can stand together knowing that together we are better. I already feel the pull. And that is that explosion energy. Imagine the power of that water, the power of that energy flowing through all of us together at the exact same time. And that energy is beginning today. How exciting.
Well, just a reminder.
I think I need to put my hat on to
Okay.
that. I think
I'll keep my eye on you.
All the eye, yeah, would you? And I'm also wearing my Moldavite eye, guys. Isn't that beautiful? That is a handcrafted single piece of Moldavite carved into the shape of an eye. Isn't that beautiful? So I thought it was a double eye day.
I think you look very cool.
It's a double eye day.
All right.
Go ahead.
You be styling. I just want to. I just want to remind you to stick around, because as we get a little further in the show, we are going to offer you a guided meditation and an activation energy to help with this June explosion. So that's coming up. In the meantime, we have some callers to say hi to.
We want to say hi to you. So Shri, we've had so many people waiting over here so far. Why don't we go? It looks like wherever you want on the call board there. Where are we heading to? Atlanta? Is that where we're going?
We can do that.
All right, we're going to, I think we're going to Atlanta, Georgia. Namaste, Atlanta, Georgia, and welcome.
Oh my God! Hi. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
I'm in Asheville, and I called y'all before, and that was my first time calling, and I was like, today I'm gonna get through. But then I was like, no, because everyone else was like so on point with what they already said, and I was like, I relate to that. Maybe today's not my day. And both times it was so divine. I'm like, today, like both times, I was like, today I'm getting through. And Shri looks like a wizard, so I'm like, oh my God.
So true. So true. Merlin for real. He won't let me put crystals in his beard yet. I think it would look really good, don't you?
Oh my God. I love you guys so much. You have helped me like not just like roll around in pain from the, like I've been writing to you guys and like Instagram and YouTube and like just like watching you guys, and the past probably like few months it's helped me tremendously to like not fall to victim consciousness. I was just like living there, and like I was seeing my twin flame, and both of us just keeping each other there. So like that twin flame, twin soul thing, and just everything you guys do is so on point. And I'm like so grace-filled. I love that you say grace-filled. I feel so much that way. And I also have been having some struggles and things that I like. People are saying like being pulled back, like coming expanding so much, and then just like going to the other end and be like, I know I'm like I can do better than this. I know I can like be conscious, but like I'm just feeling my pain and like so grief and everything, and then like the doubt, like I'm like, oh, I got this, like I'm gonna like this will manifest because I believe it and it's divine, and then like just like having a meltdown. But thankfully those are not as common. But I don't want to keep rambling, but I would love a reading. Also, I've been wanting to connect with Shri on like a medical intuitive reading as well, just because of some of the like medical stuff that's been going on as well.
So breathe, Angel. First of all, just breathe. I literally feel as if I'm preparing to levitate out of my chair. You and I, in this moment, all of that chatter was coming from the one who needed to say it. But you and I have been sitting here the whole time having a completely different conversation. Yeah. And so I first want you to feel into that, because I won't repeat that one on the air, but I know you can already feel it and hear it. What I will share on the air that is appropriate to share And that will also assist your mind to form to go deeper with the conversations that we have already had that have spanned quite a large amount of time during this quantum experience, is that you are in a moment of choice. Everything around you, everything that's happening, the depth that you feel, the passion that you carry is so big and so master-filled and so ready that literally your throat feels like it's too small for it to burst up through you because you are afraid to let it out. And so I'm seeing this beautiful, it's like a golden, like a turtleneck made of gold coils. And you're holding it and your eyes are gazing up. Your hands are on your throat like mine are. And as you breathe in, on the exhale, just feel it release. Call in the smile. And all those golden jewels are now in your fingertips, ready to be put to work. No longer is it something you wear. It is now who you are. And you are ready. Thank you, my love. I am honored.
Thank you so much. That is so beautiful.
Yes, you are.
I feel that.
Yeah, we love you, honey.
Much love, dear.
Thank you. I love you guys.
Namaste. Namaste. Wow, you know, I think that was for all of us. I think that was so that when we do this attunement, because I'm feeling, you guys all feeling like this really, everyone, the community today, everything has just come through, you know, and everything has just moves forward.
Yes.
Right. You know, so this is really quite beautiful. And we're very grateful that you are here, all of you co-creating this community. We are so grateful. And so, Shri, I'm just like, wow. Wanted to let you guys know if you want to put in some comments right now in the YouTube. Which YouTube is this that we're getting the feed on?
Official Shri and Kira.
Okay, so if you're over at the YouTube at Official Shri and Kira for the next moment or so, we will be able to see if you want to put a question in there. We will do our best. We cannot type a response, but we will do our best to look here
it
for a moment.
It pops up and kind of catches our field of vision.
Exactly.
And it might inform or guide this conversation further.
Right. And so this is one of the things that we love is when we have this opportunity where all of the tech works. And so as we're waiting for some of those to come in, let's say hi to a caller over at the 800 number, Shri.
Well, yeah, I think we have another first-time caller that's standing by over there. So let's go over to line 2 and say hi to Anju from New Jersey.
All right. Namaste, beloved one. Welcome.
Hello. Namaste.
Hi, sweetheart.
This is so surreal. I found you just a few weeks ago, and it's been such a blessing to hear you. And I've been listening to you a lot, and it's really, really been very revealing. So I had a question for you too. How this has been something that I've been meddling with for a few months. How do I tap into my life's purpose? How do I get into the realization? And I also wanted to see if you can please give me the honor of a soul reading as well.
Well, take a breath and relax, because of course the two are one, are they not? And as I'm connecting with you, honey, the first thing for you is really about remembering who you are without the doubt. When I gaze into your chakra field and that which is radiating, because in order to be able to do a soul reading, we connect soul to soul. Let's not forget that a soul reading is literally what your soul is giving me the honor of seeing to share with you now. And the energy that's being shared is the energy of incongruence. There are moments of divine knowing, and there are moments of yes, and then there are moments of hell no. And that they run in different areas within you. And this is the journey we all take, because woven around all of that is an extraordinarily powerful woman and a very powerful master. And your light, wow, like literally I'm not seeing right now. Like I'm literally seeing like what looks like flashing lights in front of my eyes as I'm speaking with you right now. And I actually want to close my eyes because it's becoming kind of painful, but yet the light is still there. That's what's going on inside of you. They're saying, close your eyes, look within, see the truth. Breathe it and expand it out and trust what's right in front of you. You have the capacity. All you need to do is say yes. And so it is.
Thank you so much.
Much love, dear.
Wow. You know, I want to share with all of you while I'm really dizzy, forgive me. The palms of my hands right now are really on fire. And some of you might have the same. There's a lot of profound, it feels very much like up-level energy. And again, I think every person we've been connecting to has been preparing us all for this attunement that we're going to get to shortly. And so I'm going to invite you to take your hands right now, your palms, bring them right up, third eye going straight up. You see how I have the pinkies together? And you're going to feel the heat pouring out of them. Bring them, don't touch your head, but just really close, and you're going to feel that heat and just relax into that. And they're saying some of you that may be having some headaches or feeling some congestions. What I'm doing right now is they're showing you how to just pull that energy right around. Remember, the fifth dimension, this is all about anchoring. Right where I am on the graphic right now is intentional. This is what's happening. And you see this green, that's all about the ascended heart energy that's coming up. You see all this, the top. So this is the explosion into those realms, right? Where we're right here. There we are. I just want to try and really help you feel that energy, right? Yeah. And it's coming from this beautiful wisdom eye. And so we're able to gaze and become in that one energy without any interference. Yeah. All right. And so Shri, we've got so many scrolling through. Let's just see what's right in front of us.
There's a bunch of them. One of them caught my eye because I think it applies to many folks.
All right.
And
I can't see it all right now. So
here, let me just go with this.
Okay, start. There's plenty. We'll get to plenty. Just start.
So, like I say, it scrolled by, but it was about sensations in the feet, possible nerve pain, and issues in the feet.
Yeah.
Because this is both an ascension symptom and a particular symptom to you.
Yeah.
And so I want to offer a couple of perspectives that might be useful for folks that are having issues in the feet.
Uh-huh.
Number one, it's time to remember that we float on the earth. We do not ground into the earth. So this is
now breathe that in, because I just heard a few people go, wait, stop the record, Shrey. You need to say that again.
We are at a new time on this planet.
Since the millennium.
And this time, the Mother Earth is saying, children, graduate, please. I've done all I can do for you. It's time for you to be the master that you are, and you take care of the earth and be good to her. So the first step about this is to lift into your heart.
Yeah.
And we float in the heart energy, which opens up our ascended chakras, and our feet then become conduits of energy that lifts up. But that conduit is not coming from the center of the earth. The conduit is coming from the cosmic atmosphere that we are floating within. And so this is something that we have taught for a few years. It's important to revisit that and make sure that you're not using your feet to try to ground into the earth.
Yeah.
Number two is to also remember that we need to clear ourselves. So to clear ourselves means do the living on practice. You'll find that at shriandkira.com. It's under the practices.
Right, you can't miss it.
And this involves bringing energy up the feet. Now, what this will do is it'll start clearing the channels for you. Okay?
It's the gateway to reverse aging because it calls in the eternal life presence. And I want to share one other thing about the way when we ignite our Taurus field, and in order to get there, it takes that steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust. When you're in that Taurus field constantly, then the energy that's sustaining you is ever uplift. It's always, you're always in it. But if you are unstable in that, then this is when that energy enters up that Shree's talking about, that comes in from the earth. And that is the energy that is it's the first entry. Remember that I love it so much, but the Esina brethren say what? all healing begins at our feet. This is the earth's way of getting your attention. If merely receiving from her is causing pain, then she's saying, beloved master, please help me. And I walked through this for how many years? I walked through this for like 4 years.
Yeah, and so those are really important because not only do they move energy, they help you anchor in the ascended perspective.
Yeah.
One other thing, I too have sensations in my feet quite frequently.
Yeah.
And what I have found is applying a liquid magnesium offers extra mineral support to those tissues, because the ascension frequencies are, it's like you go out and you exercise a lot, you've depleted certain vital minerals and proteins and things from your body's stores. And so these frequencies, it's a magnesium salt, they sell it in many places. You apply it to the bottoms of your feet and it will not only offer nourishment to the cells and the nerves, you will also have an opportunity while you're applying it to bring that loving energy to your feet, where we begin our healing journey to free the feet from the clay of density.
And so thank you for asking. All right, Shri, we have so many other questions going on in the chat.
Well, yeah, they've been coming one after another here. Let me go back up a little bit and
see what I got.
Here's one.
Okay, yeah, please. Okay, so here's one that says, I feel a pull to be something great, but I also feel stuck in the shadow, like I'm meant to be there too. Well, first and foremost, I hope you were with us during #Monday Magic for the Lessons of Light, Lesson 11, because it's all about this. And so if you were with us for that, go back and revisit Lesson 11. Any of you, Lesson of Light, Lesson 11 is this energy. And this is very much what was happening in May, right? May was the energy of expansion and contraction. And that all month long, it was going to be that, I'm expanding, but I'm contracting. And at some point, something's got to give. And if it didn't, if you haven't found that resolution, then what you're sharing right now is one of the experiences that can happen. The key is you can also be witnessing the shadow. And this goes back to what we were talking about on the first half of the show today, which is in June, right? June is going to be this massive explosion energy. And it's going to have this energy of, in that relaunch, return, and remember. What are you relaunching? What are you returning to? What are you opening to? Are you returning to the truth of yourself, as Archangel Zadkiel so beautifully says about this month's energy, right? That quote from Zadkiel in the Upper Level Calendar. So are you saying yes to that? Or are you returning to a pattern of a pattern, or as Archangel Zadkiel so beautifully calls it, the habit of the pain of the pain. The habit of the pain of the pain is comfortable. And this is where you don't have to worry about rocking any boats. This is where everything will stay as it is. And if that is where you are, then relaunch yourself into it. Mm-hmm. Stop trying to pull out of it. Be where you are and then flourish, because you flourish no matter where you are. That's the illusion. The illusion is that somehow you've got to do your life differently. It's not that you need to do your life differently. It's that you're calling in a level of clarity where you feel comfortable with the experience of this co-creative illusion. And that's the beauty of the spiral, is that we are never disconnected. We just find different places where we're dancing, and at some point we wake up to decide if we're ascending or staying where we are. And so this is why we also put out again the article. Please go to ShriAndKara.com, right there on the homepage. Reconnect with or read for the first time the 6 steps through the spiraling and how to anchor into the 5th dimension. This month, that 5th dimensional mirror is really going to matter. And those questions are answered in that.
Yeah, and I believe you've addressed, Candy had written in here saying that she keeps feeling like she's being pushed back. And it's very similar to what you were already sharing. Yeah. The thing I want to add for all of us is that when we cultivate the witness energy more fully, we begin to take a more ascended perspective on our experience.
Yeah.
This gives us the power to make a healthier choice, not to feel like you're caught in the energy, but that you're watching the force of that energy interact with an old state of consciousness, or the shadow, as was discussed earlier.
Exactly.
And so one of the things I want to share is that when we detach our perspective and look more clearly at what's going on in our life, the healing will start happening automatically. The next thing is, from that detached perspective that says, I love myself as I am. I love myself as I am. From that detached perspective, you can then re-up your commitment to lift into your highest expression, to be the greatest version of you, which says, I can do this, I want it, I claim it, it's my truth, and the habit of the friction begins to just fall away.
Yeah.
It takes steadfast commitment.
And focused awareness.
Yes.
And complete trust. Remember, each one of those is necessary, and literally in that order. You know, you've got to want it. You've got to really want it. For us, it is our passion. You know, we taught about the Ikigai last year as part of the lineage holders and the mastery journey into core. If you don't know what we're talking about, go to our Homestudy and learn about it, because our passion, our Ikigai, is on our knees. Okay, how can we serve? You know, show me. And that, living that way in steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust for 18 years has truly been a journey that I am still humbled I've been blessed to experience. And we are all in that moment of that blessing of the experience and that energy of coming together. And I saw a comment here, and it was from Masha, and forgive me, Masha, if I don't quote it properly, but her comment was that she's been feeling this deep connection into Mother Gaia right now, how can we do more for her? And I really appreciate you asking that question, because remember, this is like imagine that this orb, which represents January 1, 2020, right? And this orb that represents January 1, 2021. So these two orbs have just collided enough to make this opening of June 2020. Well, imagine how both of those energies feel. We are at a moment where guys, I know how this sounds. So when we step out of linear time, when you step into the center, living in the fifth dimension, and you see the broad picture from the wide angle lens, then what we're looking at right now is, in density, we are already having an effect on that timeline. You feel that? We're actually affecting what 2021 is going to look like by the energy of this month. This month with a triple Mercury retrograde, a lunar eclipse, and it's just like, it's crazy what's happening this month. And so as we are bringing all this energy together, your consciousness is exploding. So what energy that is being sent into 2021, in other words, the heartbeat of 2021 is we're in this birth energy right now. So very similar to when that first little heart starts beating, that is what's happening with 2021 right now. So how is that heart beating?
Yeah.
Right? What is the pulse wave that we're sending into 2021? That's the power of that. Now that power is being met by this kind of whoa energy. Remember I mentioned I actually woke up this morning in bed like I was startled awake, like even sleeping for 4 hours. I was like, oh my God, okay, let me keep going, right? And so in that moment, that's like what just happened. We've just been hit with 2021 early. The timeline, remember that 2-year up-level experience? It's not stable. And so what we're trying to do is to hold the energy of, I'm going to sit right here again, hold the energy of the explosion of your fifth dimensional crown. of your fifth dimensional energy. Hold that energy and see everything from the bigger picture. Lift above the cycles of grief that are happening on planet Earth that have hit the anger phase, and lift into the ascended presence of your fifth dimensional being to explode as a fountain of presence.
Yes.
That is having an effect and needed more than ever.
No, yeah, definitely. And I want to underscore something. One of our commenters earlier on was, I believe, in the Lineage Holder series where we did the time jumps and send energy forward and asking, well, are we doing any good? Was something about the question. So what Kira just explained is relevant.
Yes.
Consider for a moment.
Oh my gosh,
that
yes.
From the ascended perspective, our job is to love all beings.
Exactly.
And to listen and hold the space for enlightenment. This doesn't mean jump in and interfere with their path. However, when we radiate joy, when we radiate divine trust, when we radiate the peace that passeth all understanding out into the field, we are offering an energy that can be drawn upon by people at every level of consciousness. If you sit and do nothing, then what is the field of the recipe out there for mass consciousness? They've got plenty of fear and anger already. As we radiate this love into the timeline, it offers a different harmonic balance. And all beings can and will benefit, and we are not interfering with anybody's authenticity and the path they've chosen. We've simply given them a ray of sunshine that they can choose to attune with or not.
And that's the blessing, is it not? And I want to share, Shri, a lot of people, I was noticing a lot of people talking about headaches, tiredness, all of that energy.
Yeah.
Okay, again. In this month, right now, remember that May, we don't have that calendar. I can't show you the graphic again, but if you have the calendar, if you have the up-level calendar, go look at May again. May was that month where everything was coming in this way, right? It was the only month like this, and it was about bringing it only down to the high heart. And then now in June, it's about bringing it all and showering it out. So May was receive, right? Kind of like building blocks. Everything that happened in May were like pieces in the June puzzle, right? June is about the explosion of everything that was set into motion. But this explosion is coming with awareness, which means that there will be more to witness.
Yep.
That when you have an explosion in awareness energy, it can be overwhelming. And so this is why releasing that doubt, staying in the ascended presence, really remembering the truth of who you are, because in this month, the illusion is going to be compelling, and it will throw everything at you. And can I share what just happened with us last week? Is that too nakedly authentic? I know this, but I really feel we should share it.
Please.
All right. So guys, we were not going to share this, but as we're in real time with you right now, I'm really clearly hearing we need to share this.
Yeah.
Shri and I, you guys know, we're in our own relaunch, and however that's looking, and we've been trusting everything that's been happening around us. We have not been in a world where people ask for contracts or anything like that in a long time. We literally do everything based on trust, and it's really been a lovely way for us to live. However, stepping back out the way the divine directors have asked us to, we've run up against some of these energies. Well, we had this group approach us that seemed to be very reputable. And they just kept telling us, look, you're not reaching enough people. You guys, your site's too hard to navigate, and you're this and you're that. And hence, they
were offering services to help expand
That's great.
Yeah.
But then they threw a contract at us they wanted us to sign before they would show us anything. And I literally spent an entire night wrestling in bed, all night long, wrestling with this. And in the morning, my beloved and I both said, okay, we sent a letter to the head of the company and said, look, we really aren't sure this is right for us. And he wrote us back and said, okay, well, great. Why don't you do this one step and then you can decide. And that was really a gift for us, because the reason I'm sharing this is what we learned is that there are and maybe you guys already know this. You might go, oh, duh, Shri and Kara, you guys are just catching on to this. And it could be we are. So I do want to caveat all of this with that, because that could very well be the case where you're going to go like, oh, God, Kara, we knew that. What I did not realize was the extraordinary capitalistic money-making machine that is throwing a face of anyone who is willing to almost read a script. They don't care about the content. They don't care about what happens to you. You are a number in a funnel, and you are a statistic, and they know it. And when I read the backdoor information, it is 100% about money and how much money you're going to make and why you're going to make this much money. And there are names in their roster that I know that I was really wowed. And this is that very common scammy thing where you send out 100,000 emails or whatever, and then it's like follow it to here and get a free thing here and then do a free thing here and all of that. And maybe you guys know about that. I know that it's prevalent. I know that it's out there. I just did not realize how sold out the people that are doing that are.
Yeah.
And I just want to share with you that I'm not saying that you're not going to get some good information. What I'm saying is just know that what they care about most is your money. And Shri and I became the biggest thorn in their side, because I wrote them an email and I said, I'm sorry, but we are just so philosophically apart that I don't see, unless you're willing to adopt our model, which is how can we help as many people as possible, trusting in the universe that there will be a balanced exchange, then we can't work together.
Yeah.
And 2 hours later, we got kicked out of the program.
They just said, never mind.
They kicked us out.
But I want to speak to something here, and that is that money is not evil. Money is an energy. However, it is the
teach
love.
How to make it.
The energy of the love of money.
Exactly.
Becomes the root of separation.
The god of money.
And loving money as a god.
Money is a false god.
Yeah. And so what happens then is one's actions, motives, and perceptions start to become distorted.
Right.
And in the distortion, what is right becomes optional for instead of what is profitable.
And
that's where the distortion really
And there's some people running around. I'm not going to mention companies or people, but I think you guys know this. They buy a lot of ads on a lot of media. And they're all freaking you're not even dealing with a real person. And half the times the person that you think you're communicating with isn't even that person. I mean, all I can tell you is when I saw the back end, I literally got ill. I was nauseous for 2 days. And I'm so sorry, because I'm sure you guys are more aware of this than I am, but it was so good for me because it did jump me out of my bubble. And it was the same reason Shri and I left the carnival all those years ago, was because we wouldn't sell out. And so the reason I'm sharing it with you is that as we are in our relaunch right now, just as the Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree and everything came to him, these people came to us, hounded us, enticed us, and I mean, all the above. And it was, and promised us a lot of things that would have once again been a 7-figure thing, which was the same type of deal we walked away from about 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago now. So I feel strongly that you guys are ready for the truth.
Yeah.
Because I think that maybe that's been out there enough, that you're wise enough, that you're smart enough to pay attention to that, and that we are at a moment where if we are not modeling what we're teaching, then we will never lift consciousness. Yeah. And you are a teacher and you are a master, or you wouldn't be connecting with Shri and I. Because if you are here, there is something inside of you that has activated.
Yes.
Otherwise, what we say would probably be like, what are they saying? And that's okay too.
Yeah, no, and thank you for allowing us to share, because it was an important reminder to us.
Yes.
And speaking of activation, we're kind of at the time to move forward.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, now guys, one thing I want to say, Shri, as we begin this is that you feel it, right? We've been activating all along. So and I hope you've been with us for the whole show. So let's take a moment now and just really, I'm going to close all these other windows, Shri, so that you and I aren't sitting here just all distracted. There we are. And invite all of you to bring your hands to your heart and relax. And we will just end the show with this and invite you to start already tuning into the choice awareness. The choice awareness.
So to help us go deeper, if it's safe to do so, I invite you to close your eyes. Give your body a little wiggle and say, I love you. You can relax while we journey here together. Take a deep breath in. Let it out with a sigh or Ave sigh. Let's do that again. Big breath in. Sigh. And just think along with me as I offer the mantra of self-ascension to help deepen our trust and our journey. I am here. I am ready. I am open. Guide me. I am here. I am ready. I am open. Guide me. I am here. I am ready. I am open. Guide me. Open my mind. Expand my vision. Ignite my heart. Heal the world. Open my mind. Expand my vision. Ignite my heart. Heal the world. Taking in a breath of divine trust, I let myself float into the universe and the beauty of the cosmic star field now.
Relaxing your breath ever more. You notice as you gaze and are one with this cosmic star field, you notice what looks like a beautiful portal opening, all of the stars coming together to ignite this portal. And you notice that this portal has a depth and that the energy that you are has already aligned with the stars and entered this portal. And as you follow this portal and the depth of it, you feel all of the energy as if it is a gentle wind that is calling forward to you a unified energy. With each moment you are moving through the portal, you are unifying, calling in massive amounts of information, massive amounts of knowing, massive amounts of all of the unified presences of the allness. And this portal is calling you, and you arrive at the center seed of what is this beautiful infinite energy. You are standing in what feels to be a golden chamber, aware that it is in the middle of this beautiful field of ascension and creation energy. And as you are in this beautiful golden chamber, you are aware of the awareness. You are aware that you are in a linear time field right now that is requiring a greater expansion of all that you know, and that you have been granted the opportunity to be here. And as you relax into this energy, you're aware that the one petal, the one aspect of this beautiful infinite symbol is the January 1, 2020 through the June 1, 2020 energy. And you are feeling this energy and noticing how it is bringing into this golden chamber and aware that it is imbalanced, that it is needing the other aspect. And this other side, you are breathing out into it, your divine nature already sending into the spiral of 2021, June 1, 2020 through January 1, 2021. And you're noticing that there is a balance coming in. And as you notice the balance, you begin to notice that you are able to travel this entire energy field and that you are being invited to enter it and to now experience it. And so it is. So. Thank you for joining us at Shri and Kira Live. To have your questions answered, send us an email to guest@shriandkiraradio.com and check out more information at shriandkira.com. See you next week. Namaste.